changes the key that you press. If it's J, to ones and zeros, then to the output on the screen. The basics, how the internet works, how the cables from the US are connected under the sea to Kenya, and then fiber takes it, connects to Safaricom, and we get internet. The basics of the internet. That's the basic. And then now there are many languages you can learn. Everyone is talking about, Python and all those things. C, they are fancy. They come with, the amazing, how can I say, a feeling of, I know many languages, but I know a guy who does HTML and CSS only. They're not languages, they're just hypertext languages. And he's doing so well that for a consultation with him, 1 hour is paid a million shillings just for the same, just HTML and CSS. He knows it so well. So, and then I can sit here and tell you I know Python, I know JavaScript, I know Node.js, I know C, I know R, I know, what else? I know R, I know Rust, all those things. Of course, I know them, but it doesn't add value to the point that I know one thing and I'm doing it so well, right? Yeah. So that's the basic of the journey.
Thank you so much. We can move over to Wechuli. Yeah.
That's an interesting question because I feel the person who mentioned that they are finding it difficult with self-learning, because that was the same scenario with me. But where I am today, I can attribute it totally to the people surrounding me. For starters, him. So, and him. So it was, they just saw that I'm interested and then wakanivuta. So it happened that tunaenda holiday that year. I was very interested in, like I want to know what is going on. The same way he's saying like you learn the basics. So I started looking into things. This is happening. I need to buy a new laptop. I need to buy a new phone. So which one to buy first? We debated with my friend Amika Pane. We decided, let's start with the laptop. At day I get the laptop, the next day he texts me. There's this course I want to take. Are you interested? We take it together. So that if it becomes hard, we can help each other. He voted. So head first, we started and we suffered. He will tell you. So it was both the right time and the wrong time. So the course I'm talking about is Alex. I'm sure you've heard it being mentioned when he was being introduced. So I just started. So after he texted me the same, I'm developing interest. And then Makini is also launching Samsung Code Community. So they just happened within the same 7 days. And I'm like, hey, this meeting I have to attend. I attended, I don't know if I asked a question. Yeah. So I was very interested. I want to know, where is this going? There's a community starting, how can I be a part of it? That's how I started. It was easy at first because I wasn't in 4th year, and then you can get 4th year. Those of us who've passed that level, you know what happens. No, Dr. Ojuka is here. But we really go through hell. You have to put your best foot forward. And if you would ask me what it cost me, it almost cost me 4th year. Because now I had to hold them together. But Makini kept insisting on something. You have to be consistent. Yeah. The knowledge actually builds on itself because from exposure in both, tech is very forgiving. You don't have to know it. You just have to know how to source information to solve it. So once you do it a number of times, you don't even have to know how it is implemented. You just go somewhere, you Google, you do it. No one faults you for not knowing on the first try, but at least you can try and solve it. So fast forward to end of 4th year, I had to sort of defer for a month, although it was a free month because people, after the project, you're supposed to do your own personal project. So it coincided with my end of years. I had to sacrifice. Ikae kando, I need to pass this. I'm a doctor first before I code. So I finished and then locked myself in a room for 1 month trying to do my final project, presented it, passed, I graduated. And then after that, I realized that I have not been assimilating most of the concept. So that's what I started doing, just projects and then trying to incorporate these tidbits of knowledge with Victor, collaborating with Victor, Makini, going to events, seeing what people are doing, the intersection, how it can help us, try to help the next patient maybe in a few years. So until I've gotten to a point now, I'm able to do work for clients, freelance. We're also doing the website for the Live No Medic run this year as the community. Privileged to try and lead a certain team, try to do the same. So it's been good. Yeah. So what I'd say to that person who is starting, you need those people around you. Because there are some I haven't mentioned, like Claire. There was a time I just tweeted. I usually talk to myself a lot on Twitter. So I saw a certain post. There was an offer. Didn't have the money in that time. Somebody who has some free $12 and nilipie kitu. Lea alinitumia out of nowhere. She doesn't know, but that thing, it's changed everything. Because now it was towards December in fourth year. Your December, I didn't even enjoy anything. I was just on my computer trying to catch up as much as possible because I was in internal medicine. We know how IMED is. Yeah, so I try to use that time as much as possible to upskill so that I have knowledge to finish my project, and it actually helped. There have been people, because now, again, doing it in public makes you accountable. Yeah, because people are looking up to you. You have started this thing, umeambia watu unaanza. Okay, now how are you doing? Umeacha ama utaendelea? That pushes you. You have already told, I've even told my parents, my dad is expecting, I've started earning by now. So you really have to push yourself. So if you're in the meeting, possibly put yourself out there. Just learn with others. It's easier because if you slack, you're able to be. Because you are a doctor first, and this course it literally takes everything from you. That's my journey.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing. And yes, finally, Victor, what has your journey been like?
So my journey was serendipitous. I'll start from high school. So when I joined high school, I wanted to do computer, but so many people rushed into computer, and my mom used to advise me to do French, because ideally I wanted to be a diplomat once I get out of high school. So I did French in high school. And in our school, we had a policy: once you do French, you can't get into the computer lab at all. So once I got out of high school, I still had the hunger to know what computers do. So fast forward, I joined medical school, and I got a scholarship with Andela and Google in my first year of medical school. So I started coding in first year. So once I got out of the lab, NAT, the whole formalin and things, so I used to go to my room, code till about 3 a.m., then continue like that. Study, code till 3 a.m., continue. So I started with Java and Android. So by the end of my first year, I was conversant with Java and Android. I could make apps. But at that point, technology had not gained root in Kenya, and now few people are doing things in technology. So I had just had the skill and sat with it. I didn't do anything with it. Then in the year 2019, there was a time I was sent to pay my school fees while in Chiromo. So the Absa Bank is at main campus, if you guys have gone there. So you have to go across all the way to main campus. And at that point, there was an event going on. It was called Nairobi Innovation Week 2019. I remember that day vividly. So I had not, in medical school, usually interact with medics. Don't do anything outside medical school. That day I went there, saw tents and everything, events. So I was curious. So I went around the tents and saw other organizations. There was iHub, some tech organizations. And on Chandaria Hall, there were guys pitching. Chandaria Hall has a setup same as this. So someone was at the bottom here pitching. There were some judges, including Dashan Chandaria And I sat at the top. I still have a photo of that on my Instagram. And I watched these guys pitch. I didn't know what these guys were doing. They were just talking. At the end, this guy was given 3 million Kenyan shillings for talking, just an idea. After that event, I went and talked to this guy. He was Kenyan. He was from Coast. Myself, I'm from Mombasa too. So I asked him what he was doing. So basically, they were making these briquettes. So it's like charcoal made out of the shell husk of a coconut. And it was just something simple. And this guy was awarded a lot of money. I also talked to Dashan Chandaria. I didn't know who he was at that point. And he told me about innovation, entrepreneurship. And that sparked my interest. So in the year 2020, there was a call for HealthTech Prize, if you guys have heard of it. So you just come up with ideas and you pitch and you advance to the next stage. So my roommate at that point is a guy called Fred Kamau. He's my classmate, yeah. So he came up with an idea. We wanted to reduce flooding. Because at that point, when Nairobi trains, it's usually havoc. So we went and pitched our idea, and we were so overconfident. We thought we were doing this. So you know the way you guys are given a list, then you told, do you want to pitch the first one? You're like, yes, we want to pitch the first one. So we went in and pitched. Then we were so overconfident because we were like, we pitched and we left the other guys there. The results came and we were the least points there. We failed. So after that, we were like, okay, we need to do something. So I went and learned. HALT has a course online on how to pitch. So I did the course on how to pitch. Then COVID hit at some point and we were all at home. Then there was a call in WhatsApp groups on Afrohon. So it's supposed to make a medical app for frontline healthcare workers. At that point, guys had formed teams, everyone, because guys in med school had participated. And I didn't have a team myself. So what I did is I texted, because me, by the way, I'm usually an introvert, so I usually communicate with my friends most of the time. If there's a scale of introvert from 1 to 10, I think I'll be 15. So I texted some friends on WhatsApp, and I told them, do you know anyone who we can do this together with? I just shared it around. So I got a few people random people. I told one was in doing medical laboratory, one was in computer science. There was Debbie, who was ahead of me, like 2 classes. She was in 6th year then. And someone doing veterinary medicine. So we formed this team and I told them, you guys, there's this innovation here and we're going to win this. I'll be your team leader. So guys were skeptical, like, hey, how will we do this? So we formed a team and I was the leader. So initially, part of the innovation journey, you have to understand the customer problem. At that point, everything was locked, everyone was at home. So I had to work with community health volunteers, go with them, do their work with them for 1 week, understand their problems, what do they do, what their work entails. And I had the skills of Android programming. At that point, I could make apps. Fast forward, we built the app and we pitched and my team won. We won some good money. And it was during the COVID pandemic. No expenses, fuel is low, things are cheap. Took a good holiday to Malindi. Once my money finished, I came back to my senses.
That's a wish, bro.
Yeah. And I thought, okay, with these skills, what else can I do? And I observed there are so many challenges in healthcare. And one of it was accessibility to medical services. At that point is when Tawi Health was born. I came up with the idea. I had launched UX design, so I designed the app, everything, the wireframes, the website. I had everything in check. And here is where the part of communities, as Wechuli has told you, comes in. I was part of a community called Atlassian, Nairobi. This is a community of techies. And once being there, you just feel awkward because you're a medic, everyone is in tech, computer science, Python, JavaScript, machine learning, cloud computing, Ruby on Rails. So I had to come out of my comfort zone, try to interact with these people, pitch to them. And for me, being a newbie there, I had to talk to everyone, tell them, okay, this is the idea I have, can you help me? I talked to literally everyone I could meet. So a few people agreed to help me, and we formed a team. So ideally, one thing you need to learn is you can't do this thing alone. You need people. Initially, I tried it alone and I failed massively. Then once I got the team, I started building the solution itself. So during the period, a few team members left because innovating is hard. Sometimes money finishes, the funding is low. But in the end, we formed a product. After forming the product, we started pitching, getting awards, traveling around the world, meeting people, networking, and it was a good process for me. So still the team is intact. We build a lot, but I've gotten out of the coding side because as Makini said, you need to specialize in one thing. And for me, my greatest strength is creativity. I believe I can find creative ways even to escape this room if you are attacked. So I'm very creative. So I left the coding part to other people. And once we went to holiday, in third year holiday, so I emailed, I WhatsApped with Chuli. So once I got into LX, I told Chuli, there's this course I want to do. And it's pretty hard because people have been complaining online. Check the reviews, guys are like, even computer science graduates, this thing is hard. I told him, let's do it. And we got into, so that's when I learned about full stack development. But since then, I haven't done much in that. And I try to use my free time to code, find out other languages and other problems we can solve. An example is during the fourth year holiday, I took a trip to Rwanda for 3 months. And I saw there was a problem in healthcare financing. And to myself, I was thinking, how can I solve this? The same way, found some people to work with, built a product, software product, and we named it FinAfia. It was FinTech, Afia Health, and got some funding, and right now we are running well. So it's just about taking the leap of faith and trusting in the process. Things do work out by themselves. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing.